Welcome back to Anthony Lee Raw. All right, y'all. Taking a look at Fetch.AI versus Ocean Protocol. Now, why are we comparing the two? Besides the fact that I keep getting questions about which one is the better investment, because these guys are direct competitors. In fact, they were competitors, then partners, now competitors again. There was a big merger into artificial superintelligence, but they have since split, and there's a big dramatic lawsuit and blah, 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 blah. Go research all that. I'm not going to go into the fundamentals of that. We're strictly going to look from a technical standpoint. And now that they're competitors again, you want to know which one is going to win out. Now, I don't care. Listen to me. I don't care what you think about which one has stronger AI fundamentals. I don't care. All I care about for purposes of this video is which one is going to win out on return on investment. Okay, that's it. Okay, based upon technical analysis, not what may or may not happen in the future with partnership deals, adoption in the world, utility, blah, blah, blah. None of that stuff. Let's assume that doesn't happen, and what do the technicals say? Okay, that'll keep you right-footed way more often than not. All right. So we're looking at them side by side here. I'm going to drop down and show you them individually, and we're going to discuss some tokenomics and technicals. Then we're going to come back to this chart. So here is Fetch. I'm on the weekly time frame. Now, Fetch set a price high back in March of 24 of about $3.50. At the time, you had a market cap of 2.61 billion and 750 million coins in circulation. Now, pay attention. Here's where it gets good. You fast forward about 9 months and you set a price high of $2.20. However, at the time of this $2.20 high, which is significantly lower than $3.50, you doubled your market cap. Okay, you went from 2.6 billion to 5.2 billion, so twice as much money in this asset, twice as bullish, but lower price. Why is that? Because you increased your circulating supply. Part of this was due to the merger. But you went from 750 million coins to 2.3 billion. This wasn't all token unlocks. This was a merger, bringing on board some other companies, some other projects that had coins that made it one giant circulating supply. So even though you were more bullish, it's possibly more bullish on market cap, but less price. And that is the situation here. Now, looking at today's price, you still have 2.3 billion coins. The good news is going into next cycle, that's all you will have. So you're not adding any more coins. Price is about 18.5 cents and about a $400 million market cap, okay? Let's look at Ocean Protocol. All right, you set a price all-time high of $1.94 back in April of 2021. Now, at the time, $640 million market cap with 330 million coins. Same thing as Fetch here. Fast forward a little while. You came back and set a price high of $1.67, so less than your all-time high. However, you had more than doubled your market cap. Same thing. You're twice as bullish here, but less price. And the reason for that is you went from 330 million circulating supply to 838. Okay. Currently down at about 11 cents. You have less coins than you did here, but you're going to add them back. You got a token unlock coming, so you're basically going to have the same number of coins as you did last cycle in the upcoming cycle, about 800 million coins. So that would be a linear comparison with Fetch because neither is adding coins in the next cycle than they had at the previous cycle high. Not necessarily all-time high, but previous cycle high. So we can get a really good comparison. Now, the thing that jumps out at me the most here, and this is where some of you are not going to like this, but some of you are going to love this. You have on Ocean here a bear market bottom back in 2022 right here. And you can clearly see that as of now, you have taken this bear market low out. So that means you have now flipped market structure bearish. Okay, you're now setting a series of lower highs and lower lows in price. And we're going to look at market cap in a second, but let's go back to Fetch. Fetch in price, we haven't looked at market cap yet, but in price, Fetch has not, sorry about that guys, Fetch has not taken out its bear market low, not even close. So Fetch is still setting higher highs and higher lows, okay? So you still have bullish market structure here for Fetch.AI. Now, let's look at their market cap. Let's start with Fetch. Fetch's 2022 bear market cap low is down here, so you've nowhere near taken that out. So you are still in bullish market structure for Fetch. Let's look at Ocean's market cap, okay? Because sometimes price can set a lower low, but your market cap is still bullish if you've unlocked enough tokens that your tokens are your your price is now diluted with token unlocks. But that's not the case here. You've actually set a lower low here on your market cap for Ocean. And again, I don't care about the fundamentals. I don't care the reason why. I don't care if people are pissed off that they left artificial superintelligence or the lawsuit. Regardless, you've set a lower low here, so you have now flipped market structure bearish. And what you can expect in market cap, and thus in price in this case, is going to be, since you have a lower low now, you can expect a lower high. So you would just look for a retrace before setting another lower low. Now, does that have to happen that way? Can some crazy fundamental news come out and you break out? Sure, it can. But I can't invest on that. I can't bank on that. I have to bank on what I see, and that is a bearish market structure on the macro level. So lower low and lower high. Unlike Fetch's market cap, I would expect another higher high, okay? Now, does it have to happen? Can it just retrace and head down? Absolutely it can. But the trend is your friend, and right now the trend on market structure, at least, is bullish on Fetch. So that doesn't mean your return on investment is going to be as good, though. So we need to look back and see what that would bring, and in order to do that, you have to throw a fib on your market cap. You cannot fib price. It is not linear on the macro scale when you have token unlocks. So I have fibbed your retrace levels here on your market cap. And that's what it looks like for Fetch. And let's go over to Ocean. And I must have deleted that. I had it on here, but we're going to add it back real quick. Here is your market cap fib for Ocean. And what you would do is you take your level. For example, if you came up to the 382 level, if you retrace the 382, you would take 579 million and divide it by the total number of coins you'll have, which is 800 million. Okay. I've done all of that for you. And let's look at the retrace levels now. Turn that off, and here are your retrace levels, okay? So if you just hit those retrace levels on your market cap, this is what it would reflect on price. If you did your all-time high market cap, price would only be $1.69 for Ocean, okay? But from the lows, we're going to do it from the lows, not current price action. The lows here, that would give you about a 19% gain, so a 20x, so pretty good if you did what you did last cycle. As far as market cap. However, we've already established that you're in a downtrend now on market cap, so I would not expect a one-to-one retracement. I would expect something significantly less to set you in a lower high. So to me, we can't look at that. We have to go with a lower high, and I do have a bull run price prediction of you for 90 cents. I think you retrace to the 0.5 Fibonacci. Again, lower lows, lower highs. We're going to look for a bearish retrace. So you're going to be looking at a price, in my opinion, of about 90 cents. And from the bear market low here, that is going to give you a price of, a return of about 1,000%. So a 10 to 11x from the lows is what I would look for Ocean. So remember that, 10 to 11x. Now let's go back to Fetch, and we have these all lined out for you as well. Market cap retrace levels. Your one-to-one retrace level, which would be the highest that you've done in market cap before, would be $2.26. Now we can expect that. Why can we expect that? Remember, Fetch is still in a bullish posturing on market structure. You still have these higher highs and higher lows. You've not flipped bearish. Therefore, we would still expect that trend to continue. So a higher price target, higher market cap target, which could possibly lead to a higher price target. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you did the same thing, you're going to be at 226 instead of 350 at your all-time high. So we would at least expect to move to $2.26. And if we got that from your bear market lows, you're going to be looking at a 1,600%, so about a 17x, call it a 15x. Nice round number. It's not a round number, is it? It's an odd number. Whatever. You know what I mean. So about a 15 to 16x there compared to a 10, 11x on Ocean. And actually, because we have bullish posturing and we can expect higher, my prediction for the bull run for Fetch is to continue the higher highs and higher lows and set a $4.35 retrace. But even if we didn't get that and we just did a one-to-one, we hit a double top on market cap, which would be, instead of setting a new high, we go set a double top and then head down for the next cycle. You would still be looking at about a 15x. So all in all, Fetch wins out. You can see here we have them side by side again, and I'm going to turn their market structures on so you can see it clearly. You have set a downtrend on Ocean. You're still on an uptrend on Fetch. This is price, but it applies both in price and on market structure. So we're going to expect these trends to continue, and I'm looking for at least a 15x on Fetch and about a 10x on Ocean. So to me, Fetch wins out. I've done the research on the fundamentals, and I like Fetch better in that category as well. But all things aside, if we're just looking return on investment, market structure, and tokenomics, Fetch is going to be your clear-cut winner by at least 5x multiplier on your investment. So let me know down below what you think of these. Give me your price predictions for each, and let me know if I can look up any projects and do a side-by-side comparison for you. I'll be happy to do so. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing regular altcoin updates all cycle long. I'll see you guys next time.